What's up, y'all? Please don't mind the messy bed. I just had this video in mind and I just wanted to film it real quick before my cousin Mikey gets here because we're about to hang out. But I just remembered I made a video about the Amazon clipper, the Limural clipper that cost $50 on Amazon. I said I was gonna do a review, and the initial review was great, but now it's been 7 months later and I've been using this in the shop non-stop. I've drained the battery and just put this thing through hell at the barbershop. So now it's time to give you an in-depth review. And first thing I want to say is that I think it's great, but the big but is that this is actually my second. So the first one I bought, it was great for like the first month and a half. Then what happened was I ordered another one because I was like, oh, this is a steal, 50 bucks. I can't, pass that up. So then I bought a second one, and then like probably like 1 to 3 months later, I can't remember, but 1 to 3 months later, the first one actually broke. So the switch actually I think something inside broke, and it wasn't just wasn't turning on anymore, and I didn't want to fiddle around with it. That's way outside of my knowledge. So I just threw it, kind of just tossed it. But this one has lasted me about 5-6 months, I'd say. And honestly, how I would rate it would be, it's kind of like the middle point in between a Yall Magic Clip and a Yall Senior. So it's pretty light. It's not as heavy as the Senior, but it almost feels like if it's full power, if it's at 100%, it doesn't, and as it goes down the percentage of the battery life, it doesn't like lose power. But I'd say if it's like first cut of the day, fully oiled, fully charged, this thing is a monster. Like, this thing is great. I think it's really good. But then again, there's a really big but, and that but is, if you get a bad make, then you're pretty much screwed. So like, if you get a good make, like luckily I got a good make, and this thing is a monster. Like, this thing is great, and it's a huge steal. If you get a good make, this thing is a steal. I don't use the blade. I don't use the blade that they give you on here. What I did was I swapped the blade out for a Yall blade, and then I put a ceramic blade on it, but I don't know why I put a ceramic blade on it. I just had a ceramic blade laying around, so I just threw it on there. But you can also use a regular Yall blade, of course. And as long as you switch the blade, this thing is a great clipper. So I'd say in total, this clipper in Canadian would probably be around, I'd say 90 rather than 50, depending on the blade you want to use on this thing. So I'd say, what's a Magic Clip going for nowadays? Like 120, maybe, I don't even know. Let's Google it real quick. Amazon's selling it for $169.99. So it's like, that's on Amazon. I'm guessing it's probably cheaper at your local barber supply store. But either way, 90 bucks, huge steal. I think it's great. The lever's already getting kind of loose, but it still works. The battery life is great. If you got a clipper that you swap in between the barbershop, just make sure you plug this one in. It'll kind of skip your mind that you got to charge it. Like, sometimes I forget to charge it myself, and I'll just disinfect and I'll oil, and I'll kind of just leave it there without plugging it in, and next thing I know, it's at 30. So just make sure you plug it in as you would with all your other tools. But power wise, I think it's great. It cuts smooth. It's actually like, it's still not that loud. Yeah, no, I think it's great. It's quiet. It's cheap, right? It's quiet. It's cheap. It's powerful. Like, it's almost like if you get a good make, it's a better version of the Magic Clip, and it's cheaper. Like, how can you go wrong with that? And yeah, battery life is good. So far, 6 months in, it's still good. Like, I use it in the shop. I use it every day, and yeah. I don't want to buy another one yet, because I always do like kind of branching out and trying new clippers, but and also because I'm going back to school, as you guys know, so I don't want to keep buying new clippers. But if I were to get one, I would get another one of these in hopes of getting another good make. But yeah, no, like this is a great clipper. If Limural can change the blade, like I have never cut with the blade. I just randomly assumed that it wasn't good. But I put the wall blade on right away pretty much because I saw the guy on YouTube, the one that I referenced in the original like video. I put it on because he put it on, and yeah, no, I think it's a great clipper with the wall blade on. I would recommend it if you're willing to take the gamble and get a good make, because I lost $50 on the first one, but no, like this thing's great. You know, I think this one is definitely a steal if you're willing to go for the gamble and trying to get a good make. I think like for research purposes, I think it's actually worth it. So yeah, because I really like this. This is like my go-to almost. Like it's more powerful than my magic clip. If it's oiled up and it's nice, it'll clear bulk really well, you know. And for $50 as a base clipper, and then just slapping the wall blade on there, and it's super easy. It's pretty much the exact same. It's almost like it's a no-brainer. So yeah, I'd say I give this, because I want to give this like a 9 out of 10, but because it's always a gamble on whether or not you're gonna get a good make, I would say this is instead probably like a 7, just because off that. Because, you know, if you're just gonna spend $50 just to make sure you get a good make, then that's not really worth it. So I'd say between a 7 and 9, depending. If you get a good make, it's gonna be a 9. I only took 1 point off because you're not actually using the blade, you're using the wall blade instead, but it has the power of, what's it called, it has a good power, but the cutting blade is not the greatest. Well, I can't say that yet because I actually never tried it, but just a 9 out of 10. I think this is great if you get a good make, because even if you do get a bad make, it'll be a solid clipper, I guess, for like, I don't know, 3-4 months, or like a month, depending on the make you get. But I'm lucky I got a good make, and it doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. Like sometimes it does. Sometimes I have to turn it back on twice. I don't know if like I will turn it on, it won't turn on, and I'll close it and turn it on again. I don't know if that's just like something wrong inside, but it still works. So yeah, no, I definitely recommend it if you're willing to take the gamble. If you're not willing to take the gamble, then obviously you don't get it. But for $50 plus like a $40 blade, $90, not bad at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Limural clipper, 9 out of 10. Enjoy, guys. Peace.